Hi, my name is Sheila Corona. Welcome back to Handbook for the New Paradigm. We are in Volume 3, Transmission Session number 41, on page number 358, if you're following along in the book. Since the beginning of the time that this planet was inhabited with warm-blooded mammals, the process of evolvement towards self-awareness was the goal. This is a normal and natural process. What is measured as time by this self-awareness as it progresses and is refined appears as short segments in what appears as a long process. Again, we refer to the holographic picture of the whole process. The linear sequential observation of the self-aware ego has no inkling of the larger picture until such time as explanations of, quote, how it really is can be placed within his or her perception and are accepted as truth. The convenience of the light and darkness cycles as a measure of time determines the perception. However, there are other means of measuring time that can be adopted. The longer the cycle measured, the longer the life experience of the individual. Though it might seem impossible were another measurement adopted, then the lifespan in actuality could be either lengthened or shortened, depending on the content of the cycle. How could this, quote, content be compared? Not easily by the participants. The point being that the experience is conditional on the criteria for measurement used by the observing egos. Well, that makes total sense. These are agreed upon through the generalization of the input of the many opinions of the total group, which is why we all try to convince each other of our truth, I suspect. This is a powerful tool to control insofar as manipulating a large group is concerned, and explains the grouping of people in cities and the efforts of using mass media methods to shape the generalizations of opinions. Yes, that's what social engineering actually is. Some of those now shaping the generalizations are, and this is a whole PowerPoint list here, is what it looks like. Power and permission are in the hands of an outside deity. Violence is the way to resolve differences. So this powerful tool to control, insofar as manipulating a large group is concerned, and explains the grouping of people in cities and the efforts of using mass media methods to shape the generalizations of opinions. Some of those now shaping the generalizations are, I think these are now the opinions. Power and permission are in the hands of an outside deity. Violence is the only way to resolve differences. Humans are more different than they are similar. But that's a yes and no. They are absolutely meant to be unique. That's the entire point. But in that, it is the same. I don't know how to explain that. Being right is more important than understanding. Well, understanding that everybody is right for themselves, that's the big thing. We just have to relax on some of these things, man. The past controls the future. Yeah, well, only if we allow it. Pleasure and luxury are the necessities of happiness. Yeah, that's not a true statement either. Complexity is more satisfying than simplicity. Might makes right. service, and sacrifice are the ultimate gifts one can make to the future of mankind. Yeah, see, while yes, that's a true statement, I it's like I can sense the other side of that in that because it contains both the light and the dark in that. And that's so much of what's going on right now, right? There's this light and dark embedded in everything, and each are being asked to consider for themselves where their edges are, I suppose. There is not enough, and those that have must take it away from others. If it isn't, quote, right, laws and regulations can fix it, or more control is the answer. The list could go on and on. What is it then that the messages found in these small books would replace as currently held beliefs? Responsibility and freedom are interchangeable terms. I feel like that's true. I can't be free if I want to ask somebody else to do something. That's not freedom. Power and permission are retained or given away by choice. Very true. Purposeful, focused intention is an all powerful tool. What is believable must be logical. Responsibility negates victim abuser attitudes. This is very true. Where the attention is where the intention is. Like attracts both sides of the likeness experience. There is an important distinction between indifference and allowance. That's true. There's a lot of people get that one mixed up, I feel. Yeah. And that's an easy one to misconstrue there. I'm going to read that again as soon as I find it. There it is. There is an important distinction between indifference and allowance. Humanity has a choice about its future experiences. Rescue without participation is not an available option. The new is invoked in kind before the end of the old. Chaos is a necessary stage in the process of change. That's a very true statement, too. Commitment to a goal attracts assistance to aid its completion. That makes sense. Through the reading and rereading of these messages, these and other principles toward the choice of choosing the destiny of mankind on this planet will become a deeply rooted focus of intent by all those who choose to be a part of this process. It is logical and it is one focus that can be participated in by those with many divergent views about the necessity to defend or attack the diverse thoughts. The new paradigm, I messed that whole thing up. It is logical and it is one focus that can be participated in by those with many divergent views without the necessity to defend or attack the diverse thoughts the new paradigm invokes. The desire for a new paradigm of experience is all inclusive. The intent focused for the quote, highest and best good for all concerned allows for thought thinking to bring forth an organizing agreement that will profoundly include all rational possibilities, into an encompassing plan that will be readily acceptable. And the way that that happens for me is when people hear a grand sweeping statement like that, the very first thing they think is, oh, that'll never happen. People can't agree. As long as that is the thought that is being uh, charged with that kind of sentiment and emotion, that is correct. It will never be. That is part of what this for me is showing me, is that it is in all moments what we're thinking, how we really are feeling about it. I feel it is a possibility, and I will keep my focus on the knowing that it is going to present itself that way. How long it takes is not up to me. That's not up to me, but I know that it's coming. I can feel it, and I know that my intention and attention on it helps to bring it faster. And so that's not for me to have to worry about the how and the when, right? Humans becoming will indeed become. It is a focus of energy that is all inclusive and yet extremely discriminating as the choice for participation. It's a choice. It offers the long awaited opportunity to mankind to transcend its colonial status for sovereignty and participation within its galactic community. The question arises now as to how long before those who desire this planet to remain as a colony will allow this to go on, providing the humans of Earth to free themselves through declaring their sovereign ownership of this planet. That is a part of the plan that is well encompassed. It is first and foremost the job of humanity to make its choice and to declare their intent within their own awareness and commit to assuming the necessary responsibility to focus their purposeful intent into the universal laws and allow the picture to clarify. I feel like that's what it's been doing for me over the last several years. And in these last 2 years in particular, right? Is that I haven't really been very present on the channel. It's all been mostly intensely in here. Thought thinking is wise indeed. Some things are better left to resolve themselves through allowance. However, remember that allowance is not indifference. It is watchful observance with emotional expectation, anticipating the outcome of purposeful intent, which is exactly what I spoke on a little while ago when I said, I know that the new paradigm is on its way. I can feel it. I sense I sense it right there, right? And so I feel like that is the purposeful intent that this is speaking to. It is change through conscious participation in expressing the principle of life that is known through the gift of self-awareness. It is found by perceiving what is known and felt within the feeling aspect of the thinking process. It is thought thinking within the individual consciousness and testing its conclusions through the feeling aspect as to their validity in quiet contemplation, knowing there is no need to compare the conclusions to anyone else's process of decision. With no need to defend the conclusions, true contemplation is available. The consensus is important only to the contemplator. Think about it. That's so true, isn't it? And only in terms of what I've got as a preconceived notion or idea of it as well, right? Very interesting. Well, that's the end of session number 41. I will be back with number 42. And I hope that you are having a lovely day. And until we meet again, be well, my friends.